Our culture to us is important because that identifies us who we are.
That identity is proudly displayed inside this school dining hall.
We call this, in our language, kakan, place where you eat.
Alden Naranjo served and ate many meals here.
A lot of the Indian kids that went here from different tribes, the Navajo, Ute, Apaches.
The dining hall is part of the Ute boarding school built by the U.S. government in 1901 in an effort to force tribes to conform to mainstream society.
In the earlier years, they were forbidden to go home. All their hair was cut. They were given kind of like uniforms. They were also forbidden to speak their language. That was, in a way, saying, we're taking your identity away from you. You're going to be like me. I'm going to teach you how to be like me.
The tribe's fierce loyalty to culture proved to be too much for the government's motives, and cultural restrictions began to relax.
That practice changed in the late 40s, where the students were allowed to speak their language and also attend their cultural ceremonies.
Over time, the school, built to strip the Native Americans of their identity, became an incubator for preserving it.
The school was built to take away the Indian out of the children. Now, the historical parts of the buildings that's left, it gives us a story.
Today, only 3 of the original buildings still remain on the campus: the dining hall, girls' dormitory, and the central school and gymnasium. They were placed on the Endangered Places list in 2020 as tribal leaders began discussing what to do with the aging vacant buildings.
At this point, there are no plans for restoration or renovation.
Garrett Briggs is working to preserve the buildings. He surveyed tribal members to gauge their interest in seeing them saved.
The Indian boarding school period did not only impact the decision makers, it affected our entire community. So that tribal membership feedback is needed for tribal council, our leadership, to make those decisions.
Meanwhile, the tribal council ordered a thorough study of the site to assess its physical condition and begin asbestos mitigation. They also documented the Depression-era murals which adorn the cafeteria and gymnasium.
It's interesting because of the context and when it was painted, because it really starts showing the shift of the Indian boarding school era with respect to forcefully assimilate through the removal of cultural traditions of the students into kind of embracing it.
The tribe also requested detailed 3D laser scans of the buildings inside and out.
Even if those buildings are taken down, we have the opportunity to use that information to create a virtual walkthrough or a tour of those buildings.
Briggs hopes it does not come to that, but there are many factors in play.
After taking everything into consideration with respect to money, the current condition of the structural integrity of the building, and future use of the area, we don't know what buildings will be able to protect, but we know that we will work as hard as we can to protect some of that history as much as we possibly can.
Protecting their history and their identity.
I was born in a Native Ute, and I'm gonna die a Native Ute. So, you can't take that from me. That's mine.